Do either of you wish to challenge the throne? Suri.
Yes,
I knew I shouldn't have started with you.
That's the wrong answer, bro. You do not challenge the throne of T'Challa.
Should I come in later, halfway through the movie? Maybe is that
whatever? It's the 5th episode of the Pop Culture Pod Culture Corner. I'm Austin.
Sweet.
Adam.
And last night we just saw Black Panther. We saw it earlier than when it's supposed to.
Yeah, today officially comes out today.
Which is Friday.
By the time it comes out, by the time the podcast comes out, it'll be out. So we're gonna talk about spoilers. So
general spoiler warning, I guess, from here on.
Yeah, just general.
Because the stuff I do want to talk about, there'll be spoilers.
Right. Yeah. We'll try and save it for closer to the end, but
here's the
warned.
15-minute mark. After 15 minutes, we'll automatically assume there'll be spoilers.
Yeah, so assume that the last 15 minutes will be talking about end credits and final 30 minutes of the movie.
And general plot points, probably.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like what happens with Killmonger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, to start it off...
Wait, Killmonger's in the movie?
To start it off, what did everyone think of the movie in general?
I really liked it. It has its flaws, like a fair few flaws, but I think it's like the positives far outweigh the negatives.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And speaking from like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this was, like we've said before, a breath of fresh air. This was definitely something fresh and something new that Marvel kind of needed.
Right, I kind of agree with both of those. I didn't really like because I after the movie you were talking about like dropping frame rates during the fight scenes and stuff like that. Like I clearly like to like just a blind eye, you really don't really notice. Like just
So Adam and I are film majors.
Yeah, you're film majors. Of course you're gonna pick up on stuff like that. I didn't really notice it, so it didn't bother me. Throughout the entirety of the movie, I kind of felt like it was very action packed. Like the slowest points are towards the end, and even that is just like not really uneventful. So it was definitely worth the money to go see for 100%. Sure.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were like the first people to go in and see it, like at least in like normal public.
Yeah, you got to kind of experience the hype that everyone was kind of feeling.
And I mean, the hype carried over because
we had three theaters in our. We had, I think the theater we went to had 12. What is it called? Auditoriums,
12 theaters, I guess.
12 theaters.
Right.
And 3 of them were exclusively for Black Panther. And I'm pretty sure all of them were full.
I saw a picture of a theater online. Like, it was like standard 12 theaters or whatever.
Yeah.
And each of the theaters were just Black Panther.
Yeah.
Between 3D, regular, and IMAX.
And it was packed, too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was just 3 theaters of like 75% being full. No, it was like at least 90%.
And on preview night, not even the first official night, it made $25.2 million.
Which is only second to Age of Ultron, which made $27.1 million.
Yeah.
And it doubled.
And that's an Avengers movie.
Right, it's an Avengers movie. This is just Black Panther.
I can't imagine how in the next 3 days it's going to play out.
This whole weekend is probably going to... People are expecting it to cross 200.
Like, there's... I forget who's doing it, but there's like some celebrities who are raising money or like basically
just buying out theaters.
Buying out theaters so like low-income families can just watch Black Panther. Like that's so cool.
And that is like
filmmaking.
That is the social relevance that like this movie is creating, and that is in this movie. Like that is how important this movie is.
Yeah.
I think that's like the breath of fresh air that it brought was because this movie has social relevance, and it speaks volumes about culture and race and how we're all one people, but we're all so different that like we should unite together instead of fight one another.
Right. They even bring it up in the movie a couple times, and I actually kind of appreciate it that they did that because they're acknowledging the like very much impact that this movie is going to have.
Yeah.
Like T'Challa, he says that proverb of like geniuses build bridges and only fools build barriers and stuff like that. He also later on says that we shall act as one tribe because of course like even Wakanda is separated by 5 separate tribes that join together. So it's just kind of interesting that it is still talking about that sort of impact on actual world outside of the movie.
Yeah, it's very like it takes. This is like a Marvel movie unlike very very few like because it has, you know, it has its like Marvel thing, like Marvelisms or whatever you want to call it, where it's like they have like that certain sense of humor at like times, which mostly works. Like I think there's like a few times where
there were some points where it
like, was
not needed.
Yeah, like there's like some times where it's like I would have rather just kind of like.
It's my same problem with Thor Ragnarok, I believe.
Well, Ragnarok was purely just a comedy. Like I don't think it was an action movie at that point.
But there are still serious moments in Ragnarok. Like I was talking to Austin last night after we dropped you off.
After hanging out with that, no, I'm just kidding.
After Asgard explodes,
Korg's
like, as long as the foundations are all right, they'll hold up. The foundations are destroyed. Like, that line did not need to be.
If it wasn't for Korg, I wouldn't have taken that line. Like it's one of those like I love Korg at that point.
Yeah,
but and I still liked Korg, but I still felt like that was misplaced. You know what I mean?
But yeah, one thing that was definitely like throughout the whole movie, once Killmonger is actually like very much relevant in the movie. So the Killmonger is technically T'Challa's cousin.
Yes.
Because his
spoiler. We're
at the spoilers.
We're into it now.
No. That's in the comic books.
Well, yeah, it's in the comic. Well, like a lot of people in the movies, I don't think knew it.
Okay, well, even just talking about comic books or spoilers, whatever you want to take it as.
Yeah.
Killmonger is T'Challa's cousin. His T'Challa's father, T'Chunka, killed.
T'Chunka?
Isn't that his name? T'Chaka. T'Chaka.
T'Chunka. I think that's your Wakanda name, buddy. You're now T'Chunka from now on.
Only referred to me as King T'Chunka from now on.
T'Chaka. I loved the dead silence there for a second. It was just like, wait. Did he say T'Chunka?
I'm so, like... I don't know what it is. Like it's the weather or something.
Yeah.
I'm just dead tired today.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell from his voice. He's just gone.
And yeah,
it's alright.
Either I'm hungry and thinking of like a chunky bar or something. But
what was your point though?
Either way, so
T'Chaka
killed his baby brother, which was Killmonger's father, and
that's from the like. It's shown in the beginning, but like not
right,
really.
but you don't know exactly what just happened.
That was a great intro to the movie. Like even before the Marvel credits roll or anything, like
it's you see
that's from the jump.
Yeah.
And I like that Coogler took it to his hometown and like had it set in Oakland. That was huge.
Michael B. Jordan in the movie talks like Ryan Coogler in real life. Like that's pretty much how Michael B. Jordan's accent is pretty much Ryan Coogler's accent. Like, they're the same thing.
Which he was phenomenal, by the way. Just in general, Michael B. Jordan.
That's the worst part of the movie.
I think he stole the show.
Yes, because he's literally hands out like the best part of the movie, and since Loki, I think he's probably the best Marvel villain. It's bad because like they obviously set up Claw from like Iron Man 2.
No, did they?
Yeah, because Claw was in like Iron Man 2, like that's when they first like was like I have vibranium or something like that one was when you first saw Claw.
Oh, I think I forgot.
Really?
Yeah, so they set him up for a while.
Because I just remember from Age of Ultron with, when Ultron steals it or makes the deal with Claw and cuts off his arm.
Yeah. So
that was the first time.
That's what I meant to say.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so like that's
why he had the
that makes sense.
They've been setting it up since then, and so like now I understand that they have to like all right, here's Claw and like finish his character and like get it to an end somehow. But like I would have much rather because like first like 50 to an hour.
I would say the first half of the movie. Yeah,
he's not in the movie.
Are you talking about Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's just like he sucks because he's like immediately. Like,
he's in it, but he's like
the first scene with Michael B. Jordan. I was sold. I was like, this is awesome.
That you're talking about the museum
scene where it's like
cool
it's like is that also vibranium? It's like no, I'm just feeling it, and he just grabs it. I was like, dude, that's such a good characterization.
That was a cool match.
Yeah, just the whole
and like he puts it on too later on. So like
it's the one where he's rolling down the explosives. Yeah,
just that whole part in the museum. Like once you see the back of his head and he's like in this big coat.
Yeah,
you're just like, wow, this dude's a boss.
Yeah,
like you just had immediately without him saying a single word. It was just like this guy is about to do some crazy stuff. And then he goes on and he's that whole thing with the girl that works at the museum, the supposed expert on all these relics. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I'm going to take this, and she's like, well, no, you're not. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And he's like, well, see, you're too busy paying attention to me.
No. He has a line before that, which I was saying like Michael B. Jordan's lines are awesome. Like they're really well written. Like right before that, it's like, oh yeah, but your forefathers stole it. Like just took it from us. They didn't pay for it. So like. God damn it, dude! It's so well written. Like,
but like,
I really, really wanted. Like, if Killmonger had his own movie, I'd watch it. Like, it's so fucking good.
That line after.
I wish he would have.
Yes. Oh, if they had a Venom movie type of thing with him.
That line after though, where he was like, "You were too busy paying attention to me, and you weren't even paying attention to what you were putting in your body." As she's drinking coffee, she gets like poisoned and stuff.
And you can see it before, like she takes a sip, and then like before he even says it, she like does the little stomach grab thing.
But like the way he said it, he like because he's like a very well trained like military expert type thing. Like he was in like a special ops type group, came back all this training just to come back and challenge
T'Chaka.
I'm leaving fine. T'Challa.
That has to be a character in the Black Panther series. That's the villain, T'Chaka.
Black Panther 2.
Rise of T'Chaka.
To challenge T'Challa for the throne.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, but like it basically this movie feels like it's like two movies. Like they had because like if you look at the first half of the movie, it's basically Killmonger is in there. Killmonger is in there for like 5 minutes.
Not even.
Yeah, and then he's basically gone, and it's pretty much a show of like of the T'Challa getting power and like how he deals with it. It's very
becoming king.
Chadwick Boseman is very good in the part because he's very nuanced. Like he's not like over the top in any way. So he's very nuanced acting.
The one line I really loved was when M'Baku challenged him.
Yes.
In the first fight and stabbed T'Challa in the chest with his staff. Mm-hmm. He looked him dead in the eyes and said, "I'm T'Challa, son of T'Chaka.
Yeah.
I'm the Black Panther," and then proceeded to kick his ass.
Yeah. See, that's when he evolved into T'Chaka.
See, all right. There's also, again, I guess maybe it's just the filmmaker in me, which is really kind of like annoying. But like when after he gets stabbed, they didn't put a stab wound. They just rubbed.
It was just blood.
They just they just rubbed red berries on him or something because like there's no wound. And
I'm wondering if that had to. Actually, he didn't have the power of the Black Panther there.
And then in the next scene, like right before he like goes under like into the ancestral plane, he has a scar. So like, where did that scar come from? Like it wasn't like it was just blood, and then all of a sudden there's just like a wound there. Like it was weird.
Yeah. Speaking of that astral plane.
Yes. Ooh.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. One of the very like, not that it's not a beautiful movie, but there's not like in Ragnarok there were like stunning visuals.
Yeah.
This didn't have very stunning visuals.
It was well shot, but like it wasn't like you're not gonna look at it and be like, oh my god.
That cinematography was amazing.
Until the ancestral plane.
I wouldn't say that it was like. It was terrible, or like there was like 3 shots for sure that were beyond beautiful. Like the first shot of Wakanda, like once they go through, I thought that was nice.
Like this never gets old, and then
right, like that was nice. The nice sunset at the end was really nice.
The first fight at the falls between T'Challa and Killmonger, that was also a sunset, and that was, I think, my favorite fight in the movie.
I think so too.
Which one?
When Killmonger challenges T'Challa.
See, I made me think about the first one, but like there's something off about that scene. Like where like when like I like the layout. Like I like the scene like itself. Like where he's like it's like anyone challenge like no challenge, and then all of a sudden
it's not that one.
Like the other guy comes. No, I'm just saying. Like,
oh okay.
Like that there's so like that scene did like. The water action maybe like there's like that fight just didn't feel weird. Like it just felt weird because like there's too much water, so like you don't actually see the action, like too much action. So that threw me off a little bit.
Are you talking about the Killmonger one or the one with the one?
I think he's talking about the with M'Baku.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just like so much in water. Like here's the I guess I'll be the first one to say something bad about the movie, which isn't really bad because the movie's like we said, it's really good. The action scenes, which it doesn't have a lot, like it has its fair share of action scenes, but it also has like a good balance of like non-action scenes, like actual.
And they balance very well,
yes,
actually.
Yeah, but like the action scenes where like actually like there's Black Panther's actually kicking ass. Like those scenes feel weird to me. Like I can't especially the first scene where it's in the forest and Black Panther's killing him. Like I don't know if it's because it's IMAX. It was shot on IMAX because action scenes are usually shot in IMAX, and we didn't watch in IMAX. We watched it in like large format. It could be that, but like there's like several scenes where I was just like, well, it doesn't feel right. Like, the frame rate's syncing up.
I kind of know what you're like. Not so much the frame rate stuff, but I kind of.
Well, no, it's just too dark.
I felt a little weird. Like, so he drops out of the pod or like his ship.
Yeah.
He drops down, throws the EMP stuff.
It was solid until like
it was all
lands.
that, and then when he like jumped out and like engaged like all 5 of the guys in a row, he like kicked one of them, and it was like very oddly like when he kicked him, the guy like flew back in like slow motion. It seemed like almost, even though like Black Panther himself was actually like running full sprint through this thing.
Yeah, there was like some weird things between the action scenes. And it's not really a spoiler, but I think one of the things I realized as I was watching the movie is the fact that it's pretty unoriginal. Like this, or not unoriginal. I like the story, but like
it follows
if you watch
the formula.
If you watched both trailers, you pretty much know the story. Like it's straightforward. Like the stories.
Right.
The trailers give you.
We talked about it too. The album track list follows the plot.
Yeah, like so. All right, here's.
I didn't want to mention it earlier, but there's literally a song called "King's Dead."
Yeah, and not just that. So it starts off with like Black Panther, which is like the Kendrick song where it's just like I'm King T'Challa.
I am T'Challa.
And then like it goes down, and like there's one that is called where he's talking about King's Dead, and if you listen to the song,
it literally says "All hail King Killmonger."
And I was like, first of all, that was pretty dope, and second, and right after that, the next 2 tracks are Redemption, which is where like he comes back, and then I forget the last track, but yeah, the whole thing is literally the track list is literally the story.
Yeah. Either way,
which is cool. So like, which is cool, but it kind of is spoiler at the same time.
Yeah, and like if you watch the trailers, you probably won't get like a big like, oh my god, like like that won't happen in the movie. You'll know what like the story beats, but the way they execute it is really good. So like you'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, either way. I would also like to, while we're talking about soundtrack, I wish they had more of it in there, because like it's a solid soundtrack, and you got like
but they had
3
2
songs.
They had 2. It was "Pray for Me" when they walked into the undercover casino.
Yeah.
And at the end,
that Asian lady got so many laughs. It was like Kobe was just next to us laughing. He just couldn't stop.
I think it was because there was a laugh in the theater that was like super awkward. Yeah. And then it was quiet, and then Kobe just died.
I also don't know if either of you heard it, but the people right behind me and Adam, like when it came to a kissing scene, all you heard was.
Oh, I did hear that.
Yeah, I did hear that.
I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Like, we don't need you doing this for us.
Yeah.
But
so the
spoiler
one
alert, they kiss.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Well.
The one problem that I had was some CG was messy.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to you, and I had told you too, because it was a clip of when they're fighting in the vibranium mount.
The last.
I thought that was gonna get dropped because I had watched that clip. And I watched it, and I was like, well, this obviously isn't the movie because this CG isn't finished.
I watched like 5 seconds of that, and I was like, nah, I don't want to know anything. And then Adam, I was talking to Adam, and he was like, yeah, it was probably out of there. It wasn't really that great of a scene. Like,
yeah.
And it's
literally, it was that scene. Like,
no,
it's when he's swinging around that pole on the train track. I was just like,
it feels like a game, like that.
Not even that. Like,
what is that mode? The flow.
It looked like a cartoon.
Yeah, and they do that a few times. The casino scene.
It did. It looked unfinished.
Wait, why are you laughing? Is that
because I kicked the table?
Yeah, okay. That's what I
made a loud noise.
No, I didn't peek. We're good.
Good.
There's like the casino scene. It's really cool because like basically it's like the scene, the fight scene from Creed, which is like the whole long take in the boxing ring.
Yes.
Where,
yes.
This is a one take, and it's going from one thing to another, and it's really cool. But and I'm guessing here, like at my best of my abilities, but I think they had to blend the scenes together in order to actually make it, because like you have real actors and then you have like the space between the real actors, and they had to use CG, and some of the CG is not too great, especially when you guys remember the scene, right?
Yeah.
So like when it goes back to T'Challa when he's like fighting on the ground, and then he like does this weird like leap, and then he goes on the top floor.
Yes.
That it feels weird.
That
it feels
leap
like
was
cartoon
a little
character.
yes.
I just think in general they kind of made it like that. Like whenever he's doing something that's clearly abnormal to any other human.
Yeah.
Like, and especially since like the suit is like also probably plays a factor of how they CGI everything.
Well, he didn't have a suit that time. That was him literally in he had a suit, like an actual prop, like 3-piece suit. Remember, it was in a casino. He didn't put on a suit.
Oh, when he... Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I do like this, like, when he's in a suit and he's in the car, like, he does, like, hold on, keep driving, and he does that. I was like, that was pretty... All right, that was cool. I give it to you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The Lexus, he like tilts off the Lexus.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Turns it with his claw. Yeah.
Turns it, yeah, it was really, really cool.
That casino scene, I think, was better than any James Bond scene we've gotten in the last two James Bond movies.
All right, okay, I'll give it to you. You gave yourself a 2. I was like, all right.
The last two.
If you went back to like Casino Royale, I don't know. Casino
Royale. Felt like Casino Royale.
Yeah.
But I think in general, like that casino, like because everyone like they were all serious and T'Challa was like, well, it just got a little more complicated. A guy I know is here, and then he goes over and talks to him, and like they have like their own little conflict of like we're buying vibranium off this dude.
Yeah.
And it's just like it gets so complicated and cool, and like I think we talked about it. Maybe all three of us talked about it at the end of the movie, but like it was a perfect combination of like them speaking like in their like native African tongue and like in English. Because like there's a scene where they have Claw in custody and FBI or CIA.
Yeah, CIA. Martin Freeman.
Yeah, he was and he was like sitting there. He's like, I'll go first, and then you go second, and then.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, and then
he
them
like
two
taps T'Challa.
Yeah, them two are like going back and forth in like their native tongue. I don't know.
I would say Wakandan.
Wakandan.
Yeah.
Or I really don't know if it's just an African language.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool because they were like going back and forth talking about how like Okoye was like I can just hit him with a spear right now or something like that.
It's like if he touches you again, I'll impale him to his desk.
Yeah, it was just great.
Yeah, and like I said, the nuance of like Chadwick Boseman's character, like he's very professional about it. Like he's like as if a king was there. He carries himself well, but like that scene is perfect because like she's like, yeah, I'm gonna like kill him, and then he's like, no, we have to be nice, and like he's like, yeah, you go ahead, and like he there's like. He's like the mediator almost, so he like takes in everything and like he basically played the.
But at the same time, when he was like being kind, he like tapped him and like that's when he put the
he bugged him.
Yeah.
But like I do like how that he made T'Challa so like humble and like you felt that through like the way he talked. Like he never raised his voice. He was very calm and like patient with everyone that he talked to and any encounter.
He was composed.
Yeah.
He was very composed and like even when the dude came in and challenged him in the beginning, he offered him mercy.
Yeah.
Which
saved him at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
And then even after that, Zuri, his uncle, what
I would call him an uncle figure.
Uncle figure.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's actually.
He was close
related.
with T'Chaka.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
T'Chaka. But yeah, there was a line that he said where it was like a king cannot be a good man or a good man cannot be a good king or something.
Yeah.
Something along
I think it was T'Chaka that said that.
T'Chaka said that. Yeah.
He said you're a good man.
That was an ancestral plane.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Zuri.
It's like you were a good. Like it's like
you are a good man,
and it's like
no good man is a good king.
Yeah.
I like that line either way.
Which is a good line because like once you find out that he what he did.
What T'Chaka did, yeah.
Like, it's really cool.
Right. So I guess now we can start actually.
One.
Oh yeah, we're well into.
I was gonna say,
we're 23 minutes in.
The one.
Really?
Yeah.
So the one thing I'm gonna poke a hole in. I was talking to it with Jake before we came here.
Yeah.
He made a really good point. Why did Killmonger not just kill Claw from the beginning?
Yeah.
And just fly to Wakanda?
We were halfway through the movie and Kyra no, not even halfway, like the beginning of the movie, and Kyra leans over and it's like why didn't Killmonger just like challenge him? Like she literally was like, why don't you break? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then like the plot twist comes, I was like, yeah, I kind of see what you're talking about.
Like he needed to bring Claw to Wakanda to serve W'Kabi.
Yeah.
Because W'Kabi had hated T'Challa then because he didn't return with Claw.
Right.
Yeah.
And so once Killmonger shows up with Claw, it's like, oh, I'm on this guy's side.
Even W'Kabi even has a line like once T'Challa comes back to Wakanda that he's like where's Claw? And he's like he eluded us again. And he's like I thought we were going to change with you. Your father didn't do anything for 30 years and you're no different and stuff like that. So when Killmonger shows up with him literally in a body bag, he automatically earns his respect.
Yeah, he's like, and he's completely on board.
But what's the point of that? It's like Killmonger was serving W'Kabi's interests without even knowing who he was.
But I think that even if he didn't have a legitimate argument for the throne, which he clearly does.
Yeah.
He's entitled to some portion of power. He now gained respect of someone high up in the standings of Wakanda. Mm-hmm. So even if he didn't, I think if it went down to a debate, he would have more people on his side to say yes.
So still, why didn't he just kill Claw from the beginning and just roll up to Wakanda? Why did he have to steal the hammer from the museum?
I think they're trying to lure him out.
Break Claw. Yeah, but why?
I don't know.
I'll figure it out. Give me some time.
Why did Killmonger need Wakanda to be on his trail for him to kill Claw and just fly to Wakanda himself?
That's a good point. I really don't know.
He literally flew the plane himself.
Yeah. Also, he's a brutal Marvel villain.
For sure.
He kills people. You don't it's not like a Marvel movie where it's like a building's about to fall.
He killed his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see him in the beginning. He as soon as he does the first job, they get in the ambulance and they start making out and hugging each other. And then he's like, oh yeah, and he
Claw has her in a headlock with a gun to her head.
He's like, it's gonna be all right, and then he shoots her, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, he shoots her, and then he goes over and kills Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, all right, so going to the spoilers now. He then does go to Wakanda.
Yes. Also, Andy Serkis, by the way.
Andy Serkis
was amazing, and so I was pissed that they killed him.
Yeah.
I was like,
I like the little stuff he would do when he was in custody. He was singing "What Is Love" and stuff like that.
I loved when before he started singing, he was just staring in the mirror. He was like, I can see you. I can see you.
I had Lando in my ear because they were sitting there talking in the movie. He's an arms dealer, and then Lando taps me on the shoulder. He's like, more like arm dealer. But I just had stupid stuff like that whispered in my ear throughout the entire movie. Thanks to Lando. But Killmonger goes to Wakanda, challenges T'Challa, and then kills him and kills Zuri.
Killed.
Killed. Of course, he's not dead. He
throws him off a waterfall.
Yeah.
I mean, he is technically dead, and is only.
He was pretty much dead. They said if they removed him from the snow and tried to move him, that
he would die. He was in a coma that was and only being kept alive from snow.
The only thing that brought him back to life was the heart-shaped herb.
Yeah,
which is no more.
Here's the thing. I feel like because of the fact that it was such a it's a superhero movie and it was called Black Panther. He didn't die, but any other movie that would have been a great plot twist. The fact he just because he picks him up and just throws him off the friggin' waterfall.
So when I was at the comic book store on Wednesday,
Oh, okay.
I was sitting there kind of talking with people. I got a recommendation for a Black Panther comic book because I wanted to know a little bit more, and we were sitting there talking about the movie. And a guy in there was like, it'd be cool if T'Challa died and his sister took over as Black Panther because it happens in apparently in the comic books. And once that happened, I was like, oh my god, she's about to become Black Panther.
Oh, shit.
I was like, oh, how cool would that be?
Yeah, no, there's she's actually pretty, she looks pretty cool. If you look at the comics, his sister's actually pretty cool Black Panther.
I wonder if she eventually does become Black Panther, if she would still have those arm cannons. That would be badass. Or if she activate them and then
Yeah, those are cool. Although they didn't like I said, Killmonger's just a boss. He
bossed everyone.
He took so many people on and he just crushed them.
He took out the whole Dora Milaje, most of the Dora Milaje on his own, and then went straight after Shuri.
Yeah, and then he went. And then the only reason why she's alive is Black Panther came in, and then even then again, he's such a good villain. Oh, I want to go back where when I said he's really well written. He has some of the best dialogue in the movie, and when he first goes up to T'Challa and he's ask me my name or something scene, he has a line. Oh, it's we help.
Hey, auntie, stuff like
that. He has a sense. It's oh, that's not my name, princess. He has a line where he's we look after our people, and it's but didn't life start here? So all our people, I was, dude, what that? God damn!
And
another thing that throughout the entire movie, you can completely understand Killmonger's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He is not technically a villain.
I think that's what made him successful was because he was relatable.
Because I told Adam,
and he has a sense of style.
I told Adam right after the movie, I said that Black Panther did the same thing. T'Challa did the same thing.
Yes.
When Bucky was supposedly killing his father, he went right after Bucky, and he tried to kill him probably. Mm-hmm. So
I think
they
that
are the same character.
Black Panther's arc in Civil War that much more important.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if T'Challa hadn't gone through that arc in Civil War, he might have actually sided with Killmonger. You know what I mean? Like, if Bucky had actually killed his dad and like T'Challa killed Bucky or something like that.
But I mean, like immediately once he found out the truth, T'Challa was like, "You just created a monster." That
he basically yelled at his dad, who we already saw him like kind of like respect and stuff. Also, I do like the fact that you get like the ancestral plane from the villain's perspective. That whole scene was really cool because it turns into a kid and like then he grows up and again he starts crying for the first time.
He's just in an apartment in Oakland talking to his father.
But the sky is still like like the weird trippy stuff.
It was awesome.
So the final fight scene, they're on the first track of their mining operation, and Killmonger and Black Panther going at it. It of course ends with a pretty surprising turn of events for a Marvel
Black Panther
movie.
dies and Killmonger's king, and that's the end of the movie, I think.
So
if that was the end, that would have actually been surprising.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Because then it's like, Black Panther in Infinity War.
See, imagine this though. Like, imagine like that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that like when I said earlier, like there's 2 movies in one. Imagine if like they ended it where like they had more stuff in the movie, but like they ended it where hold on, I'm trying to friggin' make sure the computer doesn't shut off. Where Killmonger, T'Challa dies. Like he throws it off, and then it's like I'm the king now, and then it ends. Like that's the first Black Panther. Like that would have been cool.
That would have been really cool.
It actually would have been.
But the way it actually ended was that T'Challa kills Killmonger.
Yeah. And also, what a good sport! Like he dies, and like Gus, good move or something. Like what does he say?
He's like,
oh yeah,
that was a nice move.
Yeah.
Because he like kicks the sword up, punches him, and then does like a backflip, and then catches it and stabs him in the heart. And even to the end, like Killmonger has like a little monologue where he's like, "It's funny. My dad always told me that Wakanda had the nicest sunsets."
He mentioned it throughout the movie as well. Like he always said like.
But like, especially at that end, because he knew he was done. Like, and then T'Challa carries him up to see the Wakandan sunset, and he's like, "If you want, we can still help you." And he's like, "What? To put me in prison for the rest of my life?" He's
that was
like,
one of the most beautiful scenes.
And then he just takes it.
And then he takes it out and kills him. Like basically finishes himself off.
I was like, literally probably on the edge of tears. Like as soon as he said that chains line, I was like, "Bruh, this man," and they killed him. Probably the best villain the MCU has had in a while, and they offed him.
In the comic books, he does get revived.
What?
Yes, I told you this after the movie.
You didn't say that part.
Killmonger.
You said Bucky. That was your example.
Killmonger does not die. He is dead.
Dude, I really hope he comes back.
But he is.
That would be amazing.
In the comic books, revived by people. Like I forget kind of like what the purpose is, but he is revived.
The world needs more Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, dude.
I would love more Michael B. Jordan.
Oh man, so I honestly like after this movie, I honestly think he can't do like wrong any character. Like
I mean, he's proven that he can be a great hero protagonist, like through Ghost Agent Creed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he nailed a villain, dude.
But yeah, that's
what a general, like any other general thoughts before we get into post credits.
I was just about to say on top of it.
Let's just do it.
So
there's 2 end credit scenes. The first one of which was T'Challa talking at the United Nations about Wakanda starting to share their resources,
which is where the quote you said earlier from.
Right, where he says we all have to act as one tribe.
Yeah.
So he goes on about how they're hiding all the scientific advantages and technology that the world has never seen, and people are confused because they think of Wakanda
what are farmers gonna do?
What I think the question was like, what can farmers provide for the world? And then he shoots the camera a smile, and then it cuts to the credits.
Which the credits are pretty cool, by the way. Like the actual like credit, like the
and
all the stars was playing.
They're even like the very end of the movie was like they were back in Oakland, and that's where they're building the first Wakandan outreach center.
Yeah.
Right.
On those like 3 buildings, and I saw a thought online. That was a very
Batman moment, by the way.
I bought that building.
I bought that one.
That one. And that one.
Yeah.
I liked. There was a little line that one of the kids says, like, "Yo, we can strip this apart and sell it." I thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
You could tell Coogler definitely snuck that one in there.
Yeah, because it wasn't like directly at the camera. It was just like, kids running up like, "Yo, we can give it us."
I saw a thought online. What if T'Challa bought the Avengers Tower?
Oh, damn. That'd be something.
So, I don't know, I think
it could be Reed Richards.
I think
Harry Osborn or Oscorp bought it.
Yeah.
or now T'Challa.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 rumors with the Avengers Tower.
I still think it makes most sense for Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It would be. I mean, either way, I think.
Well, Oscorp Tower would work too.
They would write it well enough.
Yeah.
And then the final post-credit scene was something we actually predicted.
Yeah, it's in the. Basically, they say it in the movie because like. Martin Freeman comes in and it's like, another broken white man for me to fix.
Oh yeah, another broken white man. Of course, the first broken white man was Bucky Barnes, and we finally get to see.
Excuse me, it's. Wait, what is it?
White Wolf.
White Wolf.
No.
Apparently, White Wolf is actually a character in the books.
Yeah, so White Wolf is an adopted, basically like an adopted son of. Oh my
T'Chunka.
God! I just want to keep saying T'Chunka.
He's the adopted son of T'Chunka.
Yeah, so
we create our own lore.
Yeah.
And then White Wolf's wife was T'Challa's sister. Boom. We brought the universes together.
So he's an adopted son of the royal family of Wakanda.
Oh.
And then he kind of like becomes part of the family. Like him and T'Challa have a weird kind of
Panther 2.
Weird kind of history. They're kind of saying that like it gives him a new purpose in the MCU.
He could be like the head of like special ops for Wakanda.
Right, and I think that's like officially what White Wolf ends up being.
That's what he is, yeah.
And like he grows up as like a hunter in Wakanda and stuff like this. So it's really interesting to see what they can do with him. But we do see him up and about, and that he is just Bucky, not the Winter Soldier.
That was what I mentioned to him. Was like it was an important moment because. That was the first time you see Bucky call himself Bucky.
Yeah.
Since
that was
1.
the joke I was trying to make, but like it didn't work because like you said like Sergeant Bucky Barnes, and then that's what she calls him, and she's like Bucky. Like that, he just said call me Bucky.
Just call me Bucky.
I tried to make the joke, but I forgot what he said, so I was like, all right, well.
And then like I told Adam is that like the post credits I was really excited for them, but then it turned out just kind of being
Yeah, I want to call out officially Adam for stupid fucking prediction.
All right.
There should have been
a slow stone there.
Here's my thing. I'm not counting it out because there's still that big ass war in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And that has to be happening for some reason. So I'm just gonna assume that like it's a major plot point in Infinity War, and so like that's when they're gonna reveal it.
I'm gonna say if I were like last thing before we wrap up is if is like the reason why there was a war in Wakanda is because Thanos knows that he has to hit all the heroes in order to make sure that he can get the world.
Or go after the vibranium.
Well, but think about it. So like obviously they already have Black Panther and Bucky, and because of Bucky, to get Bucky, they're gonna get Cap, Scarlet Witch. No, Scarlet. Wait, what?
No, it was
Scarlet Widow.
Scarlet Widow.
Yeah, we're coming out of the theater. Girls like, oh my god, there's so many people in this movie. Whether Bucky, or Loki, or I don't know. She said 2 characters.
And then she was like Scarlet Widow. And then I just looked at her. I was like, wow, I love DC.
Oh shit.
The Hulkbuster armor is also in Wakanda.
Yeah, so like basically, my guess is if it's not for like vibranium or like Soul Stone, it's probably just because like Thanos is like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of heroes over there. Let's just go. Like, get him out first.
So much left to do in such a small amount of time for the...
Apparently there's some kind of Infinity War special coming out tonight.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just saw that online, so... Black Panther comes out and they're already rolling out Infinity War.
All right.
Well, it is opening night of Black Panther, so probably.
We'll see what that is. Well, February 28th is also the last part of the prelude for the comic books. Which is in 2 weeks.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So we have plenty more to talk about very soon. So
plenty of Infinity War to talk about.
We'll see you on Wednesday because this will go up on Monday, hopefully.
This will go up on Monday, and then Wednesday will be our Monday podcast.
Yeah, regular scheduled program. I know we've been talking about mainly Black Panther this week, so.
Yeah, so next week we'll be back to just anything and everything.
The regular old shenanigans.
And we will also announce our next week's theme.
Which I have an idea for. We'll get there.
We'll talk. Hold on.
Yeah.
We'll let you sit. Thank you for listening. See you next time.